Hey there gardeners, Chris here from Garden Steading. I wanted to show you something pretty exciting for me, growing one of the arguably easiest vegetables to grow in the garden, which is highly recommended and has finally worked out for me, and that is the radish. Now, interestingly enough, my first attempt to grow radishes, which I did, I think at the wrong time of year, was absolutely destroyed by pests, by caterpillars, essentially speaking. And I was able to get those under control, but I never actually got any radishes. I got plenty of leaves. Now, in contrast to that, now in winter here in Australia, we're in the subtropics, so it's pretty mild. My radishes have actually grown fairly well. They're only a little radish, and I'll pull some out and I'll basically show you what we've got here. But I'm really, really happy with the results because finally we've got some real radishes. And that's kind of, I would say, our ideal size. We like the snack radishes, and you know, they're good for pickling, they're good in salads, they're really, really good. These have actually grown almost above the ground, I would say, which may not be the best thing. It may be something I need to do a little bit of research on and figure out why that has been the case. But they have grown. We've got a bit of leaf on there, but we've got the radish, which is the most important thing. And I was quite interested because I was watching another person's video who were talking about growing radishes and saying essentially that they've had real trouble growing radishes, and at first they just thought, well, I'm doing something wrong, which is a very kind of easy situation to find yourself in because you're following the advice everyone's given you and you're just not getting the results. And if everyone else is doing it and it's working quite well and you're doing it and you're not getting anything, it's probably you. However, the one thing they did mention was that they tried a couple of different types of radishes and they had really good success with some and they had no radish on their radish with others, which was my previous experience. And while I'm not 100% sure if that was the reason previously, I've now had the same situation. So we're going to pull some of these radishes out and then I'll give you a look at my other bed, which doesn't get quite as much sunlight, so that may be a contributing factor, and it is a much better filled out bed. So again, that might be a contributing factor to the radishes not doing so well. However, there's just a night and day difference between these, and for a really quick, easy crop that radishes are just widely recognized are, and so many people recommend them, growing them from seed as well, because it's just easy and you get results. But until now, I've had mixed luck. Now, I don't even remember which of the seeds I put in here, but you can see these are a pretty decent size. I would say these are perfect. We have had a little bit more rain. I have been watering them. Some of these are a little bit on the smaller side. Some of them are on the larger side. And yeah, I've just got to say, this is definitely a success story. Now, I'm going to leave some of the smaller ones in the ground because they can hopefully maybe grow a little bit bigger. See, that's a little bit on the small side, but not the end of the world. Again, decent, probably a little small. And we're doing pretty well, I'd say. And there are a couple here which don't seem to have developed any of the radishes on the root under the leaves, which is interesting. So again, we're getting kind of that quite sporadic kind of situation where what we're getting isn't necessarily what you might expect, and it's a little bit all over the place. And when I put these in, I'm not 100% sure if I put the same seeds in both rows, because we've got 2 rows growing along here, and it does seem to be a bit of a random mix-up as to the results we've got. This front row is the better row, no doubt, but I can't really remember whether it was a different seed, and those are probably a little bit small. So, overall thoughts on this, I will say probably what type of radish you're trying to grow is a big factor. This is a little bit on the small side, but still just large enough to eat. And if we grab kind of the handful that we've got here, which is a pretty decent bunch of radishes, this would probably be, I don't know, like $5. Radishes aren't cheap considering what they are if you're buying them fresh. I would say that's a really, really good result because that's probably twice as much as the seeds cost, and we've got heaps more seeds. And if this had been a little bit more successful, we would have been getting way, way more money's worth from our seeds than from anything else. And I do have a little very discounted set of rainbow radishes that I bought from a shop that are just kind of growing over there, which was just a fun thing that I bought because it was discounted. And those already had radishes growing on them, and they seem to be doing okay over there as well. I'm not going to dig them up now because I'll actually let them go with these remaining radishes and probably check on them in a week or two when we want some more radishes. As kind of a future plan, I wouldn't actually mind growing enough radishes to have some fresh and also to pickle some, because I do like pickling various foods, and I'd rather pickle my own fruit and vegetable than be buying vegetables to pickle, because that's not the most economical. Give me a second, I got an escapee. "30 metres by 30 metres of fenced-in garden just for the cats. The one part of the fence that she can get through is where she runs to immediately as soon as she comes outside. And she's an indoor cat, so it's only supervised outdoor time, and it's a little bit frustrating." Okay, so let's have a look at the radishes which haven't done all that well. Then could you stop meowing? So over in my other garden bed, decent success. Maybe not the best possible, but I would say definitely within the realm of what I'm hoping for. And then over here, let's just have a look at, yeah, hello. Yeah. Let's have a look at our other radishes, and this is what I had the first time I grew them. Now, I am pretty sure, looking at this and just recalling what I put down as seeds, I had a mixture of kind of a round radish, and I had a different radish which was like a longer, thinner radish. And I'm pretty sure these are the longer, thinner radish. Now, as I've already mentioned, this garden bed here, while a lot of stuff is growing really, really well in it, like I think it's chard and our pepino, and we've got our garlic growing in it as well, quite well. The radishes haven't done so well, and it's possible it gets a bit more shade here from the house, so that could be a big kind of issue for the radishes. It's possible maybe they're not getting enough nutrient compared to like the competition to everything else around them, but I don't know whether that's the case. And I mean, they're all looking pretty similar, really. Like again, it's really got a lot of stem, but basically where it should be growing a radish, nothing at all. So there you go. That just gives you an idea. Perhaps if you're in the same situation that I'm in, and you've tried radishes and everyone else has gone, they're so easy, and maybe you've got them to grow, but you just haven't actually had the crop of the radish vegetable, just the leaves, I'd try a different seed variety, and I'd maybe even try a couple of different seed varieties. Don't do what I did, which is forget to really write down which is which, but if you record which ones work for you and which ones crop for you, you're going to know for next time when you want to grow some more. And again, I feel like this is one of those really, really easy crops. As another thing, which I'm not sure how much truth there is to this, but when I had my first garden bed with all the radishes growing in it, I basically, keeping in mind that I try and really mulch whatever comes out of the vegetable garden and that isn't used back into the garden, I pulled out all of the radishes which had not grown anything except for leaves, and I just dropped them in the garden bed. And I later read that that's not a good idea because the radish leaves suppress other things growing. And I can't really say whether that is what happened in that garden bed. The only thing growing in there now is chilies. I tried to grow peas and beans and a couple of things like that. No go, everything just really died very, very quickly. The chilies are very happy, and it's possible that just dropping my radish leaves in, if that information online is correct, was what sabotaged that garden. And we'll give it another season or two. I'll keep trying different things and see if we can get something working, but there you go. So yeah, it's quite interesting. 2 garden beds, not far apart at all, but good results in one and the bad results in another.